Hi guys, welcome to the new mini-series where I'm going to show you how to do a good portrait. A painting is an illusion, sculpture is a reality. So that's what we key into. So in this new mini-series, we're going to show you how we make just a simple base. I'm creating the wire armature, making them shapes, so we're going to get to that form first. And then we're going to block on, which is the first big process of getting close to this mass we need. So we're going to show you that whole process in that. So it's going to be really interesting. And now that we start putting the bulk on, then we start to create the form where the eye sockets go, the nose, how to also construct noses, ears, the eyes, the mouths, and how that all works to get that real feel of depth into sculpture. So guys, with no further ado, let's get the board, get the wire, get some wax blocked up, and let's see how we go forward. Right, so start with the board. We've just got a bit of chipboard here, nice and easy, 30mm thick. We just sort of duct tape, because chipboard's really bitty and chippy. So I always put some duct tape around it just to seal the sides, because otherwise you end up getting them bits into your wax, which you don't want. So we're ready to go. So now we're going to drill this and get some aluminium armature inside. Very simple. This wire here, this is quite ones I use for these small portraits, which is an aluminium wire you can buy offline, very cheap, it's not very expensive. It's about 5 or 6 milli wire, which is ideal. So we're going to stretch a piece of this out and we're going to get it all cut to where we need it. So as we said, what I'm going to do now, I use a little felt tip pen, work out the distance where you're going to drill through, and then put that. So I've made a little mark there. So I'm going to loop that over. So what we've got to do is, there's the top of our head roughly. So then we're going to literally cut about here, another 2 or 3 inches above to create that loop. So what I'll do now is crack on with that. Yeah, just going to snip through this 5 to 6 milli aluminium, which we've just done. Just hang that back up there for 2 seconds. So now we've got that little distance, which we marked up when we got there to loop it. So we're going to loop it now. So I normally just sort of put a little pinch in here and a little pinch in there, and that just allows you just to bend it a bit easier. So you just roll it over, bring it in, and just get that loop that I was talking about earlier. So you get a nice loop there, and you don't also go too high neither. And then what I normally do is, as I bring it in, I just bend it back like that and then bring it in again to get that nice shape. You don't want it being the loop too far over, because as you start to do the sculpture, you can guarantee it will come through the other side. So give yourself enough space around it when you're blocking up, so you can do your fine details in your hair. So guys, we've bent this now, we've got this nice little loop. For a little half-life size little portrait like this, you want about 40mm across, about 70 odd deep, and the length is up to you whether you want shoulders and arms on later on. So that's where we've got to. So get yourself a nice little drill. And literally you want to be getting around. I'm using here a little bit wider than the aluminium, because what you can do, you can also use a bit of super glue or a glue gun and to fix the pin in. So what we're going to start doing now is drilling the chipboard just nice and slowly. That's it, that's all you need. Don't have to go mad, it's easy to do. And just tap off the excess a little bit, just get some of that bits out of there, and then just check you're happy with the hole you've drilled and you're happy to work that in. That's lovely, it's a perfect fit, that is. So now, and even if you drill it wrong, like I said, you can get a glue gun or some super glue, put some super glue or a glue gun around there and just push it in if it's a little bit too loose. So guys, we're nice and solid, as we say, so ready to start blocking up. Guys, the biggest question we ever get asked on media, which is phenomenal, you know, we've got a penny for every time somebody asks me what I used, it'd be plastiline. So this is the plastiline, comes in big tubes like that. Absolutely great stuff, I love working with it. Worked with clay, worked with many of the mediums over the years, but I think plasticine's it for me, it really does work. So the nice thing about this, you get a 70 Shore, you can get a 60 and a 40 Shore, different softnesses. You need to get it warm to be working it. You can't just take it out of there and start working, it just needs to get warm. So once you've got it warm, then what I'm going to show you is, I'm going to get some warmed up now. I'm going to start blocking it into this armature to key that in. Guys, got the wax warming down, so it'd be a great time to say like the video and subscribe. I'm just breaking bits of this off now with the wax and I'm going to start blocking. I always go high first, I don't block from the bottom. It's just me. The reason I do that is because, keen as I am, I want to get started on the portrait and start where that skull and where that shape's going to work. So that's the nice thing also about what I'm quickly talking about, getting it nice and rigid. You see as I'm putting that on, it starts to build the weight onto it. So that's when you start slowly going down to the base and building up and getting your layers on. So this has gone nice now. So you can see it's quite strong stuff. It's absolutely great. It's plastiline. So just keep bulking it up, getting that shape on and where you want to be. So we're just sort of locking the back, get the back locked up as well. So getting that all sorted. And it's a bit easier for me. I've been doing this a lot of years, so it's literally just take the time. You don't have to rush it. Get a nice form. You see a lot of this anatomy stuff that you get online. Blimey, they take you all around the world just to get a portrait done. So once you've started getting that, as you're starting to get, don't worry about the shape or composition of what it's going to be. Just start putting pieces on, which actually works. So you can see here now, just starting to get some shape of where you're thinking you're going to have the mouth, and you just keep building. Too many people sort of overthink sculpture, and that's the trouble. You start beating yourself up before you get there. So you can see now that's getting quite rigid, quite hard in the sense of when you're working on it and it's moving, you can see it moving all the time. It's paramount to get that bit fixed at the bottom so you can really get into it. You see a lot of people that sort of get in touch and say, well, I'm handling it. You know, you don't want to be handling it, because otherwise when you start getting to that fine detail, you don't want your hands touching that side. You want to just working on that very top surface. So you can see now we're just starting to get, we've got to build a bit more to the back of the skull. I'm going to run out a bit of wax in a minute. I'm going to need to get some more wax. So you can see where that is starting to shape up and starting to put a bit at the back. If you've got the wax out the hot pot, I like using a little hot pot. You get them in catering and stuff, so you just put your wax in, it just keeps it nice and warm. So it's a good way to work. So guys, I'm going to crack on now and bulk on some more. As you can see, still using just my hands, no tools yet. So we're really starting to get the features where we need them to be. And again, it's not about measuring things out, it's about just getting it on and getting a nice feel of where the form is starting to go. So you can see it now, we're just sort of putting in where the jawline is, where I think it wants to be. And that's it. It's not about, I need accuracy. At this point, you're just getting the mass on, because what you're going to do now, once you start getting all these shapes in, is just let it cool down a bit, because it's so soft. It'll start, funny enough, it's happening here, look. It's breaking away, because it's still soft. So you literally just want to be playing it in, getting all the shape, and then we'll let it go hard and start to get more rigid. Because once it's rigid, then we'll start bringing in the tools and starting to work the surface. I always say to people, just get it blocked up first. There's no point in wasting time with loads of tools and working the surface and going over it again. So to get a nice block is great. So you can see now we've constructed this real loose, just using the hands, no tools at the moment. So now I just want it to chill off a little bit, get a little bit harder, so we can then start to bring the tools in, cutting, getting the shape, putting some symmetry and balance to it. So that's the fun bit, it still is, and as we start to then progress into character, will be really good. So guys, we're up to that. The next part of the mini-series is when we get the construction, using the tools and getting the symmetry to the head to give us a nice base to put that character to, and trying to get that resemblance. So I hope you like the video. So if you can put the like button and subscribe, and then follow this mini-series going forward.